Do you not think, like, I mean, I don't want to fucking get cancelled for saying this, but do you not think this cancel culture is just like disappearing now? Like it just doesn't. It seems like.
But Dapper was one of the first people.
I was the first.
You would have like started it, and it was all, you know, there was so much virtue signaling going on. The pendulum swung 100%. So far that way with 100%. All of it, and it was a tiny fraction of people that were putting, you know, stuff on their Twitter bio, and now it's just coming back. But you were the first person. I was like, what is this cancelling? How can you cancel a human? And then it just went to lots of people.
Someone said it the other day. It was like, well, actually, you know, people just make mistakes. Like if you say that no one can ever make any more mistakes, that's what it is. That's just impossible.
That's the tough thing. That's the tough thing that I couldn't get my head around. I mean, it really, really fucked my mental health bad, because I was like patient zero for cancel culture. Do you know what I mean? It was like, and for me, it was like, because I didn't know what was going on, but I was very much like, I said a lot of stupid shit. You know, I say things without thinking sometimes. You know?
You'd have to speak as quick as you do. Like when I watch your content, because you are such a good content creator, when you're doing it, you're speaking so quick, you can't possibly either compute all of that perfectly. There's going to be stuff. And also, to be funny, it's got to be a bit out there.
And also I'm working class, so the way that I articulate things, I think, your class has got a massive, you know, you'll see me say things and get absolutely vilified in the press, but then you'll see Jimmy Carr say the same thing, or even worse, actually, much worse. And it's different because the press and, you know, certain publications, journalists, and just the media in general, if they look at someone that's upper class saying something offensive, they think they're being ironic. But when they look at the working class, they think that we're too stupid to be being ironic.
A lot of comedians compare that with Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle is uncancelable. Like it's just a known thing. He speaks so articulate and he's so built. He does, and because he doesn't care at all, he's not reliant on the system at all. And he's the only comedian in that position. Even Kevin Hart.
How long ago was it that you were cancelled, and what was the specific thing that pulled it down?
Did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, like your target audience is almost judgmental. Because, basically that.
It's difficult. I'll come to that for you, but it is very difficult, because another point I just want to clarify on this is when I got what it was my TV show. Anyway, rubbed people up the wrong way. Dapper Laughs as a character was supposed to. You know, it was supposed to really push the boundary. It was like, it was stereotyping lad humour, right? So it was an exaggeration of what I was like when I was a lad, when I was a teenager, you know, going out chasing birds, like being a lad. And it was very much like what Sacha Baron Cohen done with Ali G, right? But
he was fucking.
I mean, he pushed it, but it was very clear that was a character. It was 100% clear from what he wore, how he acted, and exaggerated. The problem with me was I speak like this, I act like this, and it was filmed on a phone. So people just thought, you know, when I'm doing these, like there was one that caused a lot of problems, and I was like, "Excuse me, sweetheart, can I smell your fanny?" And she's like, "No, you can't." I'm like, "It must be your fucking feet then." Ha! You know, it's a joke, right? It's a joke. But then they think that that's a woman, right? But it ain't. That's another content creator. It's an actress, right? So, you know, it's a sketch that I formulated in order to get that shock reaction, and it's wordplay. It's wordplay. Can I smell your fanny? No, must be your feet. It's wordplay. But to the press and to the audience, that's sexual harassment. And I'm out glorifying sexual harassment and encouraging it. And when this was first happening, I was like, fucking hell, mate, I'm nailing this character because they think it's real. I'm fucking killing it. But then when it got well out of hand, 60,000 people started signing a petition to cancel my TV show. Because my TV show was I was teaching men how to chat up birds, right?
I remember.
So I'd take a geezer and I'd give him a makeover, change what he wore and that. I'd just give him some tips and that, and then we'd put hidden cameras in the bar and I'd go, because I used to be able to chat up girls back in the day with comedy and everything like that. So I'd go in and then I'd show him what to do and then he'd do it, and then whether it was a success, we had 6 different people. And essentially it was like a dating show, chat-up show. But the problem was that because of the content I'd done before, you know, I'd already roughed people up, I was considered misogynistic, and then this is what got me in trouble. The Guardian I think it was The Guardian, one of the newspapers done a big piece saying that my TV show was an almanac for rape culture. So
that's right.
I was teaching men. The TV show was essentially teaching men how to rape, and I read this before I was about to go on stage. I think it was at the Shepherd's Bush Empire or something like that. I was about to do a big show, and I was fucking fuming about it. You know, because my family's been affected by sexual violence, right? And although I was pushing the boundaries, being called someone that was like pro-rape, essentially, I was fucking fuming, and I went on stage and I was saying, like, if I wanted to create a TV show teaching men how to rape, I wouldn't have written 30. I wouldn't have written 6 30-minute episodes and spent 10 years building my career. I just would have done one minute episode and said, go down the road, get some duct tape, like that sort of thing. And then a woman at the front said, my friend Lucy loves you, she's gagging for a rape. And I went, what's that? She's gagging for a rape. And what they'd done was they cut and edited it. They clipped it. So it looked like I walked on stage and went, do you know what, guys? What you should, like a creepy old fucking man. Like literally, I was out trying to teach people to rape, and I walked on the stage and I was like, do you know what you should all do? Go down the road, get some duct tape, tie someone up, and she's gagging for a rape. And they put that out, and then that was it, mate.
And that's where this woke culture has sort of come from. They just want to target the negative side of that.
I hold my hands up. There's some things I shouldn't have been talking about, and I did push the line, but the level that it went to, I mean, you know, I lost everything. I got cancelled, TV show cancelled, management cancelled, I had a sold-out UK tour that was worth hundreds and hundreds of £1,000s for me. That got cancelled, brand deals dropped. Like I said, my manager dropped me. Then I lost my house. Then I lost all my money. Then my father died, all in the space of about two or 3 months.
I remember it was so brutal. And I remember you reacted and it hit you really hard. And obviously because of all that stuff happening. And I remember seeing it, I was like, fuck, this is really bad. Yeah. And it seemed to last a long time. It wasn't just like, right, you're cancelled. It just seems to go on forever.
No, yeah. And I got to the point where I was like, right, I get it. I've done wrong. But what do you want me to do now? Cut me fucking arm off? Do you want me to get a geezer to follow me around with a bell going, here comes Shane, comedian, Dapper Laughs forever. I'm like, what's going on in this world? What are you teaching us? Are you saying that if you fuck up at work, you lose your job? You lose your job, right? But what, you should never apply for another fucking job again? Yeah. You lose your job, then you're not allowed to work. And it's fucking mental, innit, when you think about it. And the mad thing is, all of the people that signed the petitions and cancelled me and complained never went to the shows, didn't follow me on Instagram or Twitter or so, and they certainly weren't watching my TV show.
Small percentage of people.
And how did you sort of, after all that happened, how did you sort of come back up? Because I think it's sort of like a morning show. Because I hadn't seen you. It felt like a couple of years where it just disappeared.
Yeah, well, I did, really. First of all, I wouldn't accept that I'd done wrong, because I did do wrong. I did say some mad shit, and I was pushing it. And now having daughters, I look back at why some people thought, well, he's influencing the wrong way. I get it. I couldn't get my head around the level that they fucking went for me, right? Yeah. Like, I felt like they wanted me to kill myself, really. Right. That's what I felt. I thought, like, what do you want? When are you going to stop? And that's the level I got to. I was drinking and using drugs anyway. I mean, this is what I've learned. I've learned so much about this. But I was drinking and using drugs anyway. As a kid growing up, every weekend I was drinking, and there was the occasional sessions. But what I realised was that was a coping mechanism for me in life anyway, when things were going wrong. So when all that went wrong, I really started fucking drinking hard. I mean, and when my dad died, I was drinking solid. Like, looking back on it, it was scary, and the drugs were becoming less of a social thing, more of an at-home thing, like a just getting through life thing. Right. And I managed to survive sort of that, and you know, I had a suicide, like, you know, contemplated suicide in my darkest times. I rang the Samaritans. Wow. Yeah, it was dark, but I had kids at the same time, so I was going through becoming a father, and so I was really trying to fucking work on stop drinking, because it was causing so much shit at home. Yeah. And I battled that for fucking years, and it was only, and the scariest thing is when you try and stop, you know, because you think it's all right, and you think, I'll just cut down, and then you cut down, and then, but you're still, loads of shit's still going wrong. You know, you can't work properly, and then you realise you've got a problem, and that's when it really hits you. Like, you know, not a problem, but a problem as in you just can't go cold turkey. And you can't be successful and a good father and drink. And the problem is, as a man, sometimes just growing up in that culture, you look at it and you're like, well, what else have I got if I can't fucking drink? Yeah. It's weird to even look at it now that I'm sober. Because I was like, what else have I got then if I can't get fucked on the weekends? Yeah. It's fucking hard work being a dad. It's hard work fucking being with you, married, like with you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The relationship's hard work. It's hard work being a father. Work's hard work. No one fucking, I'm banging my head against the wall. The only thing I'm fucking enjoying is getting off me nut. Yeah. And now I've got to stop doing that. Yeah. And you're good at it, right? Because not only are you good at getting drunk and everything else, you're like the centre of the attention. I saw you like when you were fucked in some of these videos, and you're like walking around and everyone's looking at you because, you know, you're famous from all this stuff. So you're going from that to something that is really fun. Oh, yeah. And it's like Jordan Peterson says, like, if you want to stop boozing, you need to find something that is good, because boozing is fun. Like, the downsides are terrible, but when you do it, you're doing it to get drunk, to have a good time, right? Yeah. So you've got to find a very good replacement.